Hey everybody, welcome back. Hey folks, I'm supposed to say. Welcome back to Widescreen in October. I'm Anthony, and Bill is off again today. He is buried alive, and we've got to find him. And we are here with guest number 2, horror aficionado. Is it aficionado?
Right, whatever you'd like to say.
Matt Head.
Hey.
Hello, Matt.
What's up, everybody?
And very dear friend, I might add.
Oh, I'm not a dear.
Oh, not mine, but you know, you're just somebody's dear friend. Dear woman.
Dear woman.
See, this is how we do it on
Hey.
the podcast. We bounce all over the place. It is
John Landis there?
A little John Landis. We'll be getting to that on a different podcast. It is October. Widescreen is now Widescream for the month. And Matt is here to talk horror.
Horrors?
It's late in the day. We can talk horrors.
Two
God
subjects
bless
I love.
2 subjects I love, and I've paid to see both. No, that's not true, everybody. I've never paid for a horror movie.
Allison, stop listening.
right. Oh, we'll cut that out. So anyway, welcome Matt to the podcast, and at the end, when we wrap up, Matt and I have a little announcement to make. But for now, we are here to talk about one of the greatest directors in film history. Forget about horror. In film history
Of all time.
Michael Bay. No, that's not it. I'm sorry.
Wait, we're not talking about Michael Bay?
That's not it.
You sold me on Michael Bay. That's the
Well,
whole reason I'm here.
Right. Optimus! John Carpenter. Matt, you're the guest. Would you like to start out? Just say a little something?
Oh, well, if I were going to start, I would probably say that John Carpenter has influenced me probably more than any other director.
Me too. I just got to throw that in. Me too.
You look at his list of hits, which I will not name right now because we're going to go through them through the show. There's so many of my near and dear favorites, my absolute favorites, that are on this list. So I can't help but call him one of my favorite, if not favorite, directors of all time.
He's in my top 10, and he's and people always. I had a friend, Pete Connect, rest in peace, best friend who died. I think you met him.
Yeah.
At the wedding.
I did.
He of the long speech.
Yeah.
God bless him. But he would go through my movies, and he would not understand. Wait, on one shelf I'm seeing Clockwork Orange, and then you've got Dawn of the Dead. What's going on here? Yeah, you can mix horror in with. It's just another genre.
Right.
Like in my top 5 movies of all time, I have A Clockwork Orange, but I also have Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. I'm not going to chuck it out because it's a Western. Yeah, so it's a goddamn good one.
And Westerns comprise some of your favorite films,
yeah.
as I know.
And basically, keeping with our theme, John Carpenter has said it, he basically makes Westerns. They're just set in different genres.
Well, it is his favorite style of film.
Yeah, and Howard Hawks is his favorite director, who made a lot of John Wayne Westerns.
Oh, of course, as well as so many others.
Yeah, and the original Scarface.
Oh, well,
That.
Just that.
There's that. Yeah, and the original Thing.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Hey, Howard Hawks isn't too shabby.
Not too bad at all, I'd say. And that's one you can truly argue which is better. The original version that still stands up as a creepy film, or John's. I have my personal favorite, which we'll talk about during the show.
And I'm sure we'll get there. We'll get there in about 4 movies. Yeah.
Not too much to go in.
Yeah, we'll get to the thing. But no, John Carpenter, by the way, a little trivia, grew up 15 minutes from my father. They're the same age. I think we've talked about this before. There's only 2 theaters in the whole area, so I know they saw a movie together at some point.
Had to have crossed paths.
Because they're both giant Western fans, both film fans, and yeah, they both know a lot about film. And yeah.
Well, then how did you turn out the way you did?
I don't know. I don't like movies much, and yeah. I mean, I like your occasional Katherine Heigl romantic comedy, but other than that, I don't like movies.
Are there other movies?
They're a waste of time. No, not in my house.
Why would you watch them?
Katherine Heigl. I can't even believe she got a mention on this show. I hate her.
Do you hate her?
Not Michael Bay hate, but I hate her with a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she'd still get it.
No.
No? Just because you're
not even to. Yeah. Huh? I've had that in life. I've had hot women who, yeah.
They just turn you off so much.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, I think I like Anthony. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You know.
Then he wakes up, folks. No,
Right. Then I realized, wait, I think I'm gay. No.
So I got really mad at my hand.
Right, yeah. Listen here, Lefty. All right, anyway.
Lucille.
John Carpenter, I'm sure he did it too. We all did, right? We're getting blue on a John Carpenter show. I love it.
Yeah.
By the way, our bluest show yet on widescreen is our animated show. So we talked about animated films. We were so dirty. That's when I first did my dirty Bill Cosby impression.
Which I understand is becoming infamous at this point.
It kind of is, actually. But I'm not going to go crazy with it. John Carpenter, yeah, he grew up in Bowling Green, Kentucky. My dad grew up in Hopkinsville, 15 minutes away. 2 theaters in the area. They saw movies together. Exact same age. They are. Little known fact about John Carpenter before we get to his filmography. John Carpenter has an Oscar. Did you know that? No. I just found that out maybe 4 months ago. I was watching an interview with John Carpenter
I'm stunned. I mean, the fact that something like this is out there that I didn't know.
Right. Gotcha!
Lube me up first.
Ding, Tony. Yeah, John Carpenter, his student film for UCLA, his senior year, was so good, I guess. I've never seen it, and forgive me, I can't remember the name. And he hates it, by the way. But he has his Oscar. UCLA liked it so much they submitted it to the Academy. The Academy put it as nominee for a live-action short film of 69 or 70, and it won. And
wow.
He accepted. I looked for the footage. I cannot find footage of Carpenter accepting his Oscar, but that would have been amazing. John Carpenter has an Oscar. In my opinion, he should have about 3.
Oh.
Or maybe 4. But
Lifetime achievement.
Or 10 because of all the scores. But John Carpenter has an Oscar.
Wow.
So that's
stunned.
Stunned. Really. I was stunned when I'm like, no offense, John, but wow, you have an Oscar? That's great, but I didn't think, because horror, and we'll talk about this on another podcast, I'm sure. Horror is still to this day the stepchild of the movie business.
Oh, absolutely. It's where it can come from the independent forum. People can get a great idea, get some people together, and go out and shoot something. And it can be something that really impacts everybody. It can come from literally anywhere in so many different directions. Mm-hmm. You can call it psychological horror. You can call it horror sci-fi. You can call it whatever you
thrillers,
want.
Horror comedies, horror this,
But it doesn't require your big-name actor. It doesn't require a huge set with lots of explosions and things of that nature.
It doesn't require $20 million.
Just get a good cameraman, a good story, and a good lead actress. The rest of the characters don't even have to be that good.
Exactly, right, because they're not going to be around long. Or if you're in a Carpenter film, Kurt Russell. You need Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Almost indefinitely.
I'm waiting if Carpenter ever decides to get off the couch, which is why he says he's too lazy to make movies anymore, and do another big one before he gets too old. One more with Kurt, please.
Well, if he does want to enjoy his retirement, I do not blame him. You are talking about the man who said, before I watch a movie, I get good and stoned.
Yeah, and he still does.
And that way I forget about any other traces of any other thought, and I can just sit down and enjoy it.
God bless him. Can I just say that this is a man who used to smoke weed with Adrienne Barbeau. They would watch horror films, and then they would go to bed and have sex.
Yeah.
I respect John Carpenter on so many levels.
I remember hearing Wes Craven speak about him, and he said, the first time I met John was outside of a Screen Actors meeting, and he's walking out, and he's just smoking an unfiltered cigarette, going over to his GTO.
Right.
And he said to himself, he's like, here is a guy who just plays by his own rules. And this is the late, great Wes Craven who said this about Carpenter.
Yeah.
So he was influencing someone who was key influencing everybody else at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, and Carpenter is that way. He plays by his own rules, and he always did. He was always on the fringe. I mean, one of the coolest things I ever saw him do, I mean, many, but as a director, but not directly involved with his films, remembering, well, I'm sure you've heard of it, in 1988 when Last Temptation of Christ came out, everybody was picketing it. I crossed a picket line 3 times to see that goddamn thing. I love it. But they're picketing it, they were banning it, they weren't releasing it, and, it barely got a release. And Warren Beatty called a press conference, and made a call before that for any filmmakers who want to come and support Marty, because he's Marty in the business.
Right,
Scorsese.
Marty.
Come out and help us. And Beatty was like, I'm gonna have this press conference, and we're gonna hey people, it's a movie and it's not blasphemous.
Right.
And there was Entertainment Tonight, back when they were actually a decent news show when they first started. Entertainment news show, before they said, look who's shopping this week.
TMZ. Wait, I mean,
right? Exactly. Before they became that shit. But they had a quick clip of the press conference, and I remember I was sitting there with I don't remember who I was watching it. Doesn't matter who was with me, and he was
Lucille.
Right, yeah, and a lefty, Lucy and a lefty. But Warren Beatty stood up at the podium, and there was a table, and other directors came in and took their seats, and one of them was John Carpenter. And I was like, and he didn't say anything, but I was like, fucking A. He stood up and came out, and he was 2 seats down from the podium, and he was standing up for fucking Scorsese. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he just sat there with it, and that's back 88, long ass hair, and
And I like his whole thoughts about film. Like, people were talking about what makes up horror and what has to be horror. And it's like, you never show it. You don't show the audience anything. It keeps it scarier.
Until 1982.
But, at the same time, fuck that.
Yeah.
Go the exact opposite direction and show them more than they're ready to see. And this is a guy who was never afraid to push the limits. He understood it was film, and it was a safe escape for all of us to get rid of some of these inner turmoils. When you have stress of work, of job, real fears of a real life, horror can be such a wonderful release.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah. A good scare, and something, and we'll talk about this time and time again, you and I, and we'll announce at the end of this podcast why we'll be talking about it a lot, but horror, today's horror, and I'll speak about this very briefly because this is a podcast in itself. Today's horror doesn't know how... I mean, there are a few out there still. I'm not saying all horror is bad now, but today's horror doesn't know how to scare. They know how to startle. People, I hate hearing, hey, did you see this movie? Oh, yeah, it scared me to death. I jumped 100 times. No, it startled you to death. That's being startled. Being scared is just like getting that creepy atmospheric feeling, and you're sinking in your seat, and and then you go home and you can't stop. You're sitting in your safety of your house, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't like that dark corner over there. That means the movie scared you.
Exactly.
Carpenter knew how to do that, and he admittedly did some jump scares because that's part of the horror biz. Even The Exorcist had a jump scare in it,
and it's got its place in horror, especially when you've been building the tension so much.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It's almost a money shot at that point.
It is. You're right. You're right. Exactly. Yeah. I remember watching, and we'll get to this later, but Vampires, John Carpenter's Vampires. Watching when I bought the Blu-ray or the DVD, watching the commentary, and watching it with the commentary, and there's during
Did you get a little mahogany? Little wood.
Well, yeah. Oh, John Carpenter's talking. What the hell was I saying? Oh, and Carpenter, he was talking about, and there they go, they're in the thing, and then there's a jump scare, and he says, yeah, I know, cheap shot, but it's part of the horror business, So he admits it. He's like, I gotta throw 1 or 2 in there for you. Yeah. And it really was. James Woods opens something, and something falls out, and ooh. And then moves on, and he's like, yeah, it was a cheap shot. I'm sorry.
Well, a movie we've spoken about, which we both enjoyed, that came out recently completely out of the independent zone, was It Follows. It Follows,
yes. Very Carpenter-esque.
Very Carpenter-esque. And though it did its creep scenes, it still has 1 or 2 jump scares. Yeah. I.e., they walk into what they think is, or what was, the man who passed said disease onto her.
Yeah.
His house, and she looks at a mirror and then falls out.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's on the other side. So you got to throw those cheap ones in there.
And here's the thing, though, with filmmakers like Carpenter, Craven to a point, with all the best horror filmmakers or people who make a good horror film, those are earned. If you create the proper horror atmosphere and make it creepy, then your jump scares are earned later. Don't just give me a so-so movie and throw jump scares at me every 10 minutes. That's not good.
Absolutely. Give me the long shot. Show me Leatherface running through that field.
There was not one jump scare in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's my second favorite horror film of all time, and it's completely frightening.
I beg to differ. There is maybe the biggest jump scare of all time.
Yeah?
That giant metal door flying open.
Yeah, I guess, you're right.
But it did it with a long enough scene intro into it. It continued.
It just
through the
seems
scene
fluid. It's all fluid.
The door came open.
Yeah.
But when that door flew open, you shit yourself.
It is still, in my opinion, and we'll talk about Tobe Hooper here soon.
Oh, absolutely. It deserves his day.
Yeah, he does. Damn it, people. Damn it, Hollywood. It's like Mickey Rourke and Eric Roberts. Damn it, Hollywood. They're still out there. Give them something to do. But to this day, that is the greatest entrance for a killer in a horror film ever. It's the most potent.
I can't argue. It brought him to the scene immediately and just scared the shit out of you.
And I'm talking all the way back, starting at the Universal Horror, all the way up to today. It is still the greatest entrance for a horror villain. It's terrifying.
I still love that monologue intro was done by Dan from Night Court.
John Larroquette, everybody. He even did it for the not so remake.
Yeah, he did. He reprised his role. First role he's done and since then, but
really, yeah, right. Well, I'm not doing anything else. Called Sears and asked for the day off so he can.
He's just rolling on that Night Court money.
He is, and that's probably some good money too. I always liked John Larroquette, but after Night Court, he got stuck playing that.
Well, that was actually, not to get on a side tangent, but
this is what this podcast is for. I loved it. In retrospect, I don't love Harry Anderson as much as I used to, but I still love Night Court.
I can agree to that.
I miss Selma Diamond, the bailiff lady who died mid-filming.
And of course...
what are you gonna do tonight?
Big Bull Shannon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Richard Bull. From many really straight-to-video horror flicks.
Well, I can always think of one that had him.
Metal Storm?
It was one you don't like. I heard you speak about it before.
Uh-oh.
It was House.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I rewatched it about a year and a half ago. Not a fan.
Camp doesn't grab you.
No, it still doesn't.
It doesn't walk that cabin in the woods kind of feel to you.
No, and I was disappointed because I'm like, I remember not liking it, but I'm older now, even deeper into horror. Maybe William Catt, George Wendt, Richard Moll. Like, yeah. And no, still, I don't hate it. I'm just like, yeah, it just misses. Yeah, just misses. And it's too bad because I'm not kidding you, I love William Catt. I have a weird allegiance to William Catt.
I've seen American hero.
I know. I've seen Carrie. I've seen so much shit because of William Catt. But if William Catt's in it, I'll watch it.
Well, you gave it a second watch. That's all you can ask.
Yeah.
So, John Carpenter.
Hey, did you know he had an Oscar? Welcome to our John Carpenter show, everybody. We are now starting it. Everybody listens to this podcast knows they're not going to stick to one subject. John Carpenter, let's start with his first movie. That's a good place to start. Number one. He doesn't like it. He can't watch it, he says. Dark Star. Which was technically another school project.
Right.
With the great Dan O'Bannon, who
went on to do
Alien and the great Return of the Living Dead.
What, director of, yeah.
I pointed that way because there it is in Blu-ray and on DVD. I own it.
Jealous.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Actually, he's going to be missing one of the two of them.
Right, I'll give you the DVD. Right here on the show, I said it. He can have it.
And the Blu-ray came up missing.
Right. Hey, you like Suspiria? Anyway,
Low blow there. Low blow,
Just
brother.
kidding, man.
That will get
I
its
trust
own
you.
show
Yeah.
alone.
Oh, fucking A, well. No, Dark Star. It's a movie about a weird orange ball and 3 guys stuck in space. How else do you... John Carpenter got very high before he directed that thing.
It's slow.
It's very slow.
To the slowest sake.
I don't... Here's the thing. I don't not like it, but I don't really like it either. But I would own it, because I'm a John Carpenter completist.
Right. I can understand owning it on that regard, but I myself probably wouldn't go and seek it out. I don't see myself going to purchase it at the store or Amazon.
Yeah,
or
it's here's the thing. It was probably a really cool idea, and not a very, no offense, John. We just got through praising him. Not a very good execution. It was his first movie, and it was in college. He was a senior in college.
Well, if you look at it for what it probably was, for its budget, for what he was pulling together, what he was doing for the first time, then you can see it in a better light.
It was supposed to be a short film.
Right.
And then they gave him money and they said, make it a feature. And he said, okay. How are we going to turn this little bullshit idea into a 90-minute movie? And there you go. So, but here's the thing. If you are a Carpenter enthusiast, see it at least once.
And that is the one time.
And then you'll be good. Yeah, you'll be good. Daniel Banion's in it.
Hey, yeah.
He's one of them.
Definitely give it a shot. I mean,
yeah.
Just like if you like Bob Clark, you gotta see Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Yeah, okay.
No.
I don't necessarily like Bob Clark, but I love Black Christmas.
Well, speaking of Black Christmas,
the original, folks.
That was a huge influence on a future film that we're going to
talk about. On the next film we're going to talk about. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I skipped one. Sorry.
Yeah, there is a little...
we missed
that is
one
kind
there.
of assaulting things.
No. John Carpenter, in my opinion, this movie flopped, didn't get very good reviews, but has since become a cult classic. But in my opinion, announced his ass in a big way. Excuse me. With Assault on Precinct 13.
Assault on Precinct 13.
No.
It really showed that he had an ability to tell the story with the camera.
Oh my God, the shots in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, basically, it's he was remaking Howard Hawks's not El Dorado, but the other one, Rio Bravo.
Right, yeah. His version of.
Which, by the way, I own that as well.
Which in itself has been remade
by Howard Hawks as El Dorado. By the way, he just replaced drunk Dean Martin with drunk Robert Mitchum and told the same story. Yeah,
and kept it moving.
Yeah, but no, Assault on Precinct 13. For those of you who don't know, forget the remake. All right, just forget. All of a sudden, I'm Quentin Tarantino. All right, okay. Forget the remake. Assault on Precinct 13, 1976, is about they're closing down a police station deep in the side streets of LA, and there's a bunch of gangs who trap about 5 people, I think.
Yeah.
In there, plus 2 prisoners in there, and they all have to fight their way through the night and survive the night.
And it was one of those kind of early stories of here is something painted in reality. No supernaturalness to it. Obviously, it's not one of his that when he delved into the horror genre. But it was one of those first survival movies, which were so popular throughout the 80s.
And which he kind of did most of his career.
Yeah.
A bunch of people in a tight space having to survive a night or a weekend or something like that. Yeah.
And I think of it specifically in that 80s way that even a Van Damme and Cyborg had to survive.
Yeah, if you want to do that, sure. That's your trip.
It's just, it had that 80s, straight 80s flair.
Well, it was 76.
Even though it was 76.
Yeah, right. But it did. It kind of...
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it not preempted, but yeah, it was a low-budget 80s action flick before low-budget 80s action flicks.
It was almost the archetype that they followed.
That's true. But some of the shots in it are fantastic. Like when they look out the window and across the street at night and they see the silhouettes of all the gang members hiding and standing here and there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Comparative to other shots in his next movie, which we'll talk about in a second. But no, it's a
which will get a good portion of this.
it's a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
By the by, yeah, as my grandma used to say. By the by,
is it October?
yeah, right, exactly. What's at the end of the month? Something coming up? But no, Assault on Precinct 13. It's nothing more than it says it is. How I described it, and that's what you get in a crisp 85 minutes. It's tight. It's very tight. It
starts flowing almost immediately, and
yeah.
It doesn't really let up.
And it doesn't let up, and it sets its mood, and then once they start, spoiler, they attack. Once the bad guys start attacking.
That didn't happen, did it?
Spoiler alert, Batman versus Superman. Spoiler alert, halfway through the movie, they'll put aside their differences and fight the bad guys together.
No! I don't believe it.
Spoiler!
They're destined enemies.
Right, yeah.
Evil Batman.
Has there ever been a big budget movie that I'm less excited about? I don't think so. Well, besides Michael Bay stuff.
You're still going to watch it.
I am going to watch it. I have a 7-year-old, and even if I didn't, I'd still go see it. But I'm not happy about it. Zack Snyder.
Ben Affleck.
Pissed all over Man of Steel. Don't get me started. Different podcast. Anyway. Anyway, yeah. No, Assault on Precinct 13, check it out. Great movie.
Worth the watch.
On my 5-star scale, I give it a strong...
Not even as a completionist for the director.
No, it's
worth
just...
the watch.
That's the one where he really announced himself. On my 5-star scale, I give it 3.5 stars.
Now, where he really announced himself to the world and changed film altogether
Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
That's it. That's the one. Chevy Chase.
I like that movie, but we'll get to that later.
It was damn entertaining.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Not the one we're talking about.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So,
I apologize.
So the next film that he did is considered in not just ours, but any film fan's horror history as a number 1 to number 10 at the absolute least.
It has to be in the top 10, if not the top 5, I would argue.
Anybody.
It's my number 3. I have Exorcist, I have Texas Chainsaw at 2, and then this one at 3.
And, of course, it's October. We're all going to get dressed up, and we're going to go out for
Halloween! Yeah. Still, I've seen it. I can't even count how many times I've seen it because I watch it once a year since it hit video. Forget horror. One of the best movies ever made.
Absolutely.
Made for like $1.75.
And its foreboding nature, the way he intermixed his music.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
His music.
Yes.
It's just brilliant.
It is. Thank you.
accomplishes-
Brilliant. We haven't used that. This is the first time we get to use brilliant, and we'll be using it again
Oh, absolutely.
on Carpenter.
But this time, he just came out of the gates and he said, "What? The babysitter murders? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you Halloween."
Yeah, a little cheap. He took a little cheap idea. The producer said, "We want you to do about a movie about a bunch of babysitters, right? A bunch of teenagers getting killed just getting killed."
Yeah.
And he said, "All right, I'll see you that, and I'll raise you Halloween." Yeah.
And just hit it out of the park. He used long shots. He used
Panavision.
Panavision. The
Kit, for all you kids who don't know, the widest screen you can get back in the day.
Absolutely. And just had this little character stand in a background, creepily in the sides of shots. He didn't spoon feed it to you. He didn't focus on him.
Right.
He just put it out there for you to notice.
He didn't give him a backstory, basically.
And again, the long creep, not the boo scare.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that it didn't have its boo scares, as we spoke about before, but it's the long shots that grab you.
Exactly. And on that, do you know the creepiest shot in the movie, in my opinion, is when Tommy Doyle is behind the couch and he peeks out the curtain, looks across the street, sees the house where everybody's, I can't remember if they're dead already or not, and Michael Myers is standing under the one light over the garage. And it looks like a painting. He's just standing. He's not moving.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even see his face. He's a silhouette. He is the shape.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful shot, and it's creepy. It looks like a painting.
And he thought to himself, holy shit, Captain Kirk is going to come over here and kill me.
Right, exactly. The phone lines are lighting up, folks. No, it's what can you say about Halloween that hasn't been already said? Let me tell you the one thing that I don't like about John Carpenter's Halloween. Nothing. It's a, and I mean that.
He's setting me up there, folks.
It is a perfect film. Forget about little gaffes here and there. I mean, it's set in Illinois, and you see palm trees occasionally. Who gives a shit? Who cares? We're in Hollywood,
it's just
baby.
That crazy gardener who imported it.
That's right. I think it's. I'm not, gaffes notwithstanding, it's a flawless film.
Oh,
Flawless.
Absolutely.
Jamie Lee Curtis in her first movie role is fantastic.
You mean the woman who created what a Scream Queen is?
The godmother of Scream Queens. Currently starring on Scream Queens on TV.
Which I'll have to catch up on.
It's good.
At some point.
It doesn't blow me away, but it's good.
All right.
She's fun. It's PJ Souls.
Oh.
And what's his name? Some little actor. Oh, Donald Pleasance.
Oh, that guy.
Donald Pleasance.
Hell's come to your town.
Yeah, right. Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there. Iconic role. Sam Loomis. Dr. Loomis. Iconic.
Iconic is the only way to say it.
Named after Sam Loomis from Psycho.
Exactly. You know, his little play to Alfred Hitchcock. But you're talking about a horror movie hero that you could actually root for. Was he the handsome guy? No. Was he the big buff guy? No. But he was that guy who had that certain character to him that you wanted to root for, and he became this not anti-hero, he was the hero, this nemesis for the anti-hero of the story, which is Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And he was the ultimate pitted against.
Yeah.
For the ultimate crazy, he would be arguably the ultimate sane, maybe? Although he doesn't seem like it.
He was the modern-day Van Helsing who would stop at nothing to kill this monster.
Great way to say that.
Yeah.
Van Helsing. Great way to say that. Yeah. And it just gave such a complete story because you had the bad guys, you had the good guys, so to speak, Myers versus Loomis, and the story carried out so well with all other actors and actresses, and, well, what can I say? The best.
It was okay. Yeah. It was alright.
It sucked.
But you know what was really good was that Halloween 6. Is
that the one with Busta Rhymes?
No, that was 7. Jesus.
LL Cool J then.
Yes. And in the next one, let's put Ja Rule in it.
No, I believe it's going to be Kanye West. He'll be playing the president.
Can we kill him off at the beginning, please? Can we do that in real life? Oops, did I say that out loud?
He'll never get to see himself perform.
That's right.
And that would be such a tragedy. He'll never be able to see himself live.
You poor thing, you.
Talented with music.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the thing with Kanye, like I spoke earlier about hot women who are such bitches that I don't care how hot they are. If Kanye were more like, say, Chuck D as a person, I would totally own every Kanye CD. I own nothing. I don't want to give him my money.
That's the thing is, like, I honestly believe he is a great musician.
He's one of the best rappers.
One of the biggest fan bases ever he could be.
Indeed.
On even maybe, can't quite say it with a straight face, but close to a Michael, type of performer.
In the rap world, I agree. I agree with that.
But I think he
Michael
could transcend.
Jackson, not Myers, right?
I think he could transcend if he had the audience that he didn't alienate. He already has the ones that say, all right, fuck it, his music is so good, I'm going to listen anyway.
Yeah.
But if he wasn't so egotistical, he would have the others, too. They would get behind him, I really believe, because the music is good.
If Kanye West's ego and James Cameron's ego crashed into each other, this planet would implode.
Yes, but I'll still watch a James Cameron film first before.
I own James Cameron, and I will not own Kanye West. You are correct, sir. Yes, indeed.
Do you? How much did you buy him for?
Right, yeah, I own James Cameron movies.
James Cameron, I want another
You're
Coke.
mine, sir. Paul Giamatti sold him to me. That was a 12 Years a Slave reference, just by the way. Whoops, technical difficulties. So, John Carpenter.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we could talk about Halloween the whole show. Everybody knows its merits. Everybody knows its flaws. 0. It should be. Yeah. The tension. God damn it, Janet. I'm sorry, folks. The tension that he builds in that movie and never lets it up. And then the last 15 minutes, you are on the edge of your seat. And you can't fucking breathe until, spoiler alert, by the way, this is your first show. Anything that's 10 years or more older, we can talk about the spoilers.
Right.
And it doesn't let up until fucking Donald Pleasant shows up and shoots him.
And then it
doesn't
let up.
Doesn't let
at all.
up. Yeah.
Because
he looks over and he's gone.
Is that the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. Yeah. One of the best end lines of all time.
Which rolls right into, I guess, if we're keeping things linearly.
I guess.
You do have to talk about Halloween 2.
Which Carpenter wrote with Deborah Hill and did the music but did not direct.
Correct.
And
only under force of contract did those.
But it was okay. I don't love it. I own it. I own 1, 2, 3. I stopped there. Because the third one, well, we'll get there.
3 had its own.
Yeah, right, we'll get there. No, Halloween 2, you can tell it's not Carpenter, but it's very Carpenter-esque. They keep with the style. They keep with the same cameraman, Dean Cundy. They keep with the same look, feel, the music. Everything is the same.
And picks up, literally, from the moment it lets off.
Yeah, seconds. Yeah. And there's some dumb shit in it.
Yeah.
Like when he walks through the plate glass. That's a little dumb. But there's some good shit in it, too. And the hospital setting, I call it a movie hospital, because in movie hospitals, there's only about 2 people working.
Yeah.
And everything's real
it's not
dark.
Bustling. They don't actually really want you to live.
Yeah, exactly. There's like 3 staff members and 2 EMTs hanging out.
He's flatlining. Anybody?
Nobody?
Anybody?
Shit. There's nobody here. But the hospital setting is creepy. Like I said, Carpenter and Deborah Hill wrote it as they were having an affair and ruining his marriage to Adrienne Barbeau. Just by the way, if I may be a little TMZ-ish here. But rest in peace, Deborah Hill, by the way.
That's true.
Yeah, she died of cancer a few years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's a good film. I give it a strong 3 stars. But it's really lacking in the fact that he didn't direct it.
True. It had
directed
enough
by Rick
of the
Rosenthal,
feel,
by the way.
Having the same cinematographer, and it had much of the same feel. It just wasn't quite the same animal. But rarely is a sequel as good as what surprised you that way.
Yeah, there's about 3 in existence, and maybe 2.
It just and speaking of the slow feel, we hinted at this earlier, but talking about Bob Clark, Black Christmas had very much the same feel. And Carpenter has admitted that he was very influenced by the film.
Yeah.
He liked the POV shots that came out of it. And thus...
Ergo, getting back
mask.
to Halloween here, yeah.
Yeah, the shape, his eyes. Mm-hmm. You know, all a great thing that he pulled reference to.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that in Halloween, the very opening, with him putting the mask on, like you were just saying, yeah.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. Michael?
And then we can roll into 3, which...
Let's roll into 3, because guess what? I fucking love Part 3.
And we're 2 of the only.
We are... There's a small cult of us out there, but...
so many were like, what? Where's Michael Myers?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. They wanted to keep the Halloween series going after the death, quotes, of Michael Myers in Part 2, and just have little different stories set on Halloween and that would have been fucking phenomenal.
And that's the way he wanted to do it after the first movie.
Yeah.
If he didn't have to build audiences up to Michael Myers in the second one, and they had done it,
we could have done
the
that.
second one, I think it would have springboarded better.
But I think that's also why he killed him. Quotes, killed him in the second one. Because it's like Jason, he's dead. This is a dream.
I know you saw an axe to the head, but he can regenerate like Wolverine.
Exactly, yeah. And then put a cigar in his mouth and kill teenagers having sex. But yeah, and that's why he killed Michael Myers. Or Michael Myers off in Part 2. What are we talking about here? Leatherface, Freddy. And they were gonna do what part 3 was supposed to be called was Season of the Witch, the Halloween 3, because of the 3 masks. And the studio said, nope, we want the series recognition, so it's going to be called Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And it's a good movie. It's again co-written by Carpenter, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who went on to do It. That
little made-for-TV
that
movie
little thing, that little
everyone
ditty.
Loved and has scared most people to clowns to this day.
Yeah, fucking Curry. God bless him. I'm glad he's recovering from his stroke, by the way.
Tim Curry.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tim Curry.
Yes. Please recover.
Please, yes, get better, Tim.
How many amazing characters has Tim Curry played?
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez.
Jesus. That's a podcast for itself, fella.
I mean, is it down to the butler? Did the butler do it?
Right.
Or is it the transvestite?
Come on up to the lab and see what's on the slab. Anyway.
They all float down here.
I love it. But yeah, director and Carpenter did the music, the score to Halloween 3, and it's one of his fucking best, by the way. And again, they kept the Carpenter style. Dean Cundey, the director of photography, again. It looks like a Carpenter movie. It feels like a Carpenter movie. And audiences stayed away in droves because I guess on opening weekend everybody said, Michael Myers isn't anywhere, don't fucking go.
Yeah.
And nobody went, and it was a big flop, and they scrapped that idea and went back to Michael Myers without John Carpenter.
Right, which he still gets paid for.
Yeah, and that's what's fun. And like they seem to be, for some reason, John Carpenter is the only director where they're remaking almost his entire filmography.
Oh,
and he hates it.
Every film.
But he says, guess what? I get a check every time they do it.
So
keep it on, buddy.
And it's so awesome. I mean, he literally was quoted like, I don't care if I like it. They pay me every time.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, well, then they can just go back and watch mine, which will probably be remade a second time because it's so damn good.
And there you go. But no, just real quick on Halloween 3. I think it's a very effective movie. The great and highly underrated and underused Tom fucking Atkins.
Tom Atkins.
Exactly. And Stacy Schwing Nelkin. It's just a great movie. And Carpenter co-wrote it, and it's a throwback to the stuff he grew up on with the sinister town and the sinister people. And
it painted that small, creepy area so well.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got in that town, you felt it was desolate. You felt the hands around your neck.
Yeah, exactly.
And, to involve children the way he did with the masks, there were some things that he really did push the envelope on pretty early with that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with the kids and the mask and the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge... And I said this before I was ever a father. I'm not a huge fan of children in peril in movies. It's not too fun. Exception being Temple of Doom and I guess The Exorcist.
Do you mean when children survive the peril? Children
That's
in
fine.
peril altogether?
But when children in peril usually doesn't do it for me.
I gotcha.
But it can be done in a stylistic way. And if they survive, that's all the better. If they don't survive, I'm like, well, that was why make them children. And I said that
understand.
before I was ever a parent.
I can understand that completely.
Yeah.
But when they die and come back, nothing scary.
Oh, no, that's ghost children, fucking zombie children. Terrifying. Terrifying.
Terrible movie.
Like if they're already
Demons
dead,
2,
that's okay.
Going back to...
Oh, Demons 2.
Yeah, Demons 2 on the Italian side of things. The little demon child running around, you're like, holy shit.
No, Demon... The great scene in Romero's Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, the two
kids coming out of the closet, and he has to kill them, and he doesn't want to, even though they're zombies. And it bothers him.
It's creepy, and it's so heart-wrenching
it is,
at the same time. But leave it to Romero to touch both strings at the same time.
And, folks, we will be talking about Romero very soon.
Oh,
and again,
sucked and
we'll announce that
spawn
later.
This whole thing called zombies that everybody
is
obsessed over in today's day and age.
One thing on that, and we'll get back to Carpenter. What I don't understand is how huge The Walking Dead is and how the whole show is the tip of the hat to Romero, and they have a different director every week. Why don't they say, hey, Romero, you want to do a few episodes?
That
fuck
is brilliant. I've actually never thought about that.
Right.
I mean, I just assumed... Well, I don't know what I assumed.
I don't even know if he's a fan or not. I
don't
know he's not a fan. Fast Zombies suck, and they do, by the way.
And they do, but... We were talking about Zack Snyder earlier.
It's not a bad remake.
It wasn't. And for
it's respectful.
A standalone film, it was great. The problem with fast-moving zombies is it would be total annihilation immediately.
It would be, yeah.
And that movie paints it as nothing but. They do not survive the end of it. There's nothing to lead you to believe that in that reality, things weren't snuffed out.
But I think that Romero said it best when he said Fast Zombies suck. He says, they're dead. They come back. They can't think to, I gotta get that guy, so I gotta go fast. They can't think, he's just gotta, I gotta get to that guy, you know.
I agree.
Ergo a zombie. But, I agree. And here, in Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder, his only, that and Watchmen, his only two good movies in my opinion, it falls under my 2010 list. Whereas, if I think of 2010 as the sequel to 2001, which happens to be my favorite movie, I am thinking, what the fuck? Are you crazy? That's ridiculous. But if I think of it on its own, as a separate story which it was written by Arthur C. Clarke, as a really very well done and interesting space thriller, it's a goddamn great movie. Same with Dawn of the Dead. If I don't take it as a direct remake,
section it off. I got you.
I wish Zack Snyder would have made a zombie movie like he did it, only not called it Dawn of the Dead, and just tipped his hat to Romero by them being in a mall, by the store, the Galen Ross. I wish he would have done that.
I can understand your
I would have enjoyed it better. I would own it, probably. But I don't
understand your feelings about it
Yeah.
That way. But, at the same time, I can't blame Zach for capitalizing on what could make his small film bigger.
No, you're right.
And it looks like it has so much more of a budget than it really had. It was very small. And one thing that I really, and we really got to go back to Carpenter after this, I'm sure.
Is that what we're doing?
But, last side note, the one thing I really enjoyed about that movie, and that I haven't seen in other zombie movies that I've been really been dying to see, is The Spread. And that morning that she wakes up...
That's a great opening.
It's just so good.
It's fantastic.
From the little girl at the door to her husband coming back to
then when
life,
she goes outside, the neighborhoods...
Yeah. Neighborhoods already blowing up. Helicopters are falling out of the sky. Shit is just hit the fan.
It's great. And you know what? By you describing
and
that...
then they just roll the credits over that from a helicopter shot. And you're just like, oh, yes.
By you describing that makes me say, maybe I do need to own it. But here's the thing, though. If I'm in the mood for Dawn of the Dead, am I ever going to reach for that one?
You have to want something different. I know they have the same name. Maybe one of the reasons that I've been able to give more love to Zack Snyder's is that I see it as its own standalone, despite the name being the same.
Yeah.
I just don't blame him for cashing in on it. But I do separate it. It is in a different genre. I love my slow-moving zombies. And if you fuck with that inside that world, fuck you.
Right.
But if you created your own world, and it survives in its own world, which an annihilation of population overnight, and this movie didn't deviate from it, there were no sequels to blaspheme it, then that movie stands alone as a fucking fantastic film.
You're making me want to see it. You know what? I double my horror watching in October. I'm going to watch it this month. I will get back to you. We'll talk about that again, once again, on another podcast.
Hey, it might just be Romero.
Stay tuned, folks. There's an announcement coming. Carpenter. Karen Carpenter.
So, his next movie, Bambi.
Yes. What were we talking about? Halloween? Is that where we left off? Holy shit, we're only at Halloween?
No, only 3. We got to go on to 4 or 5. No, just kidding.
No, yeah, we'll stop at 3, thank you. But no, real quick, we didn't get to finish it. I think 3 is a great film.
Agreed.
It's low budget on purpose. It's cheesy on purpose.
And
why Conal Cochran is doing what he's doing is never explained, and it makes no sense. Who gives a shit?
And all I know is Tom Atkins comes in there and kicks a little ass.
Great ending.
Pussy, like he always does.
The ending is a direct tip of the hat to Invasion of the Body Snatchers when he's running, saying, "They're coming, they're coming, they're coming." Yeah. That's the same, turn it off, stop it.
Turn off the signal.
That's great.
Calling everybody.
That's the one thing that survived from that movie. That. Everybody knows that, and everybody knows what it's from. Silver Shamrock. It's almost time, kids. Oh. Yeah. It's a great film.
Bugs will come out of your eyes.
That's right. Snakes out of your ears. Watch for the big giveaway at 9. I love it. Anybody who hasn't seen it because they heard it's shit, see it.
Yeah.
They're wrong. You might not love it, but I guarantee you, if you're a fan of John Carpenter, at least feeling movies, you will like it.
Yeah, you'll see the style.
And Tom Atkins in his one and only starring role, I believe.
In a John Carpenter film? Well, you could kind of give him another one down the road.
Yeah, Night of the Creeps. Right, true.
Well, he was in Night of the Creeps as a starring role, but a quasi-starring role in another Carpenter film.
Tom Atkins?
Well, think about it.
Well, I mean, I know the movies he's... Oh, The Fog.
Rolls in.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Which by the way...
is next.
Might as well jump right in.
So I fell in love with a guy named Tom Atkins.
Right.
Decided to use him for my next film.
What was the name of the radio station?
KP...
I wanted to say KX...
Penis. What?
No. I wanted to say KXP, but that's a Seattle station.
Oh, no. It was K-Bar Beauties.
K-Bar Beauties, that's it. Right. Anyway, John Carpenter followed up Halloween, which, by the way, I believe until Blair Witch was the biggest money-making independent film of all time.
I can believe that. I can believe that. And
it was something like...
Love that it comes from the horror genre and stays in the horror genre.
They spent, $500,000 on it, and it ended up making worldwide, $200 million after its run.
It was just oops, here's some millions for you.
And for you kids, that's back in the day when if a movie was a hit, it would stay for a year in your local theater.
Mm.
Yeah, and you'd have to wait a year for it to hit video,
I wonder sometimes if the oversaturation is better and there's so many choices, or the undersaturation where you were forced to watch a movie twice and see maybe what the director was hiding for you.
I think that's better. I miss those days because I was fortunate to come up in those days.
Kind of like the days of owning a full album instead of a single.
Damn it, we still do. We have albums upstairs, folks. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
You find that B-side that becomes your favorite song.
Yeah.
It wasn't the radio song.
Exactly.
It was that B-side.
And for all of you Beatles fans out there, many of their biggest hits started out as B-sides.
Oh,
and their fans made them hits, you know?
It just touched that string in your heart.
And a little payola. Right, yeah, right.
Did you say peyote?
That too. Well, that was Revolver and Forward.
Right.
Right, yeah. Huge Beatle fan here, folks. Are you? We've never talked about that.
I am a fan, more so for what they did for music than true hits that just blow me away as compared to other music from just past their age group.
Yeah,
I like who they immediately influenced more than them themselves,
right.
But I can't say that they don't have songs in their collection that don't blow me away, or that they didn't have the largest influence on music altogether, and thus love them for what they did.
Indeed, and that speaks volumes, yeah. Which leads me, is a weird segue, The Fog!
The Fog!
Right.
My brain was kind of foggy on that.
Right. John Carpenter followed up his massive success with Halloween with The Fog, 1980.
Where do we begin? It's just this creepy story.
Nobody can see what I'm doing, but I'm making these gestures like, huh? The Fog?
Did you ever see the leprechaun in Alabama video?
Right.
He just did the hands up like, y'all ever seen a leprechaun? It looked like a leprechaun to me. Anybody see a leprechaun? Say, yeah! So,
oh shit!
this movie, it just had a great old-fashioned creep factor to it.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say Halloween, 5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
Tops.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Of the highest, and as I said, in anybody's top 10 of all time.
Anyway, yes.
Old-fashioned
creep factor.
You know, here he rolls back in with Tom Atkins.
Rolls back in.
Here he rolls back in
The Fog.
with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yes.
And here he rolls back in with, I guess, his ex at this point, wife?
I think it was during Escape from New York.
Okay, it was during Escape from New York.
So, still his wife.
Still his wife.
Adrian Barbudes.
And, yeah, Barbie. Adrian Barbeau.
Yes.
And they fill in the story of a small coastal town that gets attacked by a shark. Oh, wait, no, that's Jaws.
Whoops.
That gets attacked by, I wonder, what's the name of the movie?
The Fog.
The Fog. Now, let's just take the living dead and make them fucking dead pirates and make them come off the sea in the fog. And you have a story that doesn't suck.
Oh my god, doesn't it? Does not. I love The Fog. My wife and I disagree. She's a huge Carpenter fan, by the way. My wife does not like The Fog. She just rewatched it again a couple of years ago. Can't go there. And there's another one coming up that she can't go with either, but we'll get there. A few movies down the road. No, you said it best. I think it's another Carpenter, another 5-star movie for me. I think it's perfect.
I can't help but agree. I mean, you had Hal Halbrook in it. Damn it.
Yeah. Blake, we're celebrating murderers.
Blythe. No, Blake. Sounds like a Blythe. Blythe would be good too. Blake
Blythe.
Blythe. Goddamn pirate ghost.
Goddamn pirates. Yeah, right.
Here's your gold. Get the fuck out of here.
And Jamie Lee Curtis acting with her mother, Janet Leigh.
And she got boned by Tom Atkins.
But Tom Atkins got some Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, come on now.
But the scenes, talking about the creep factor of Halloween, and mind you, I give them both 5 stars, but I prefer Halloween. But Fog is equally as creepy. And on the edge of your seat tense factor, it's double Halloween.
And he took it to a different place.
15-20 minutes where the fog hits the town.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. And the music.
And it's now
ridiculous.
What you've seen at sea, what you've seen coming to the coast, at the lighthouse, at the radio station at that point, which
Wayne.
was a great,
That's Adrian
great
Barbeau's
radio
name.
station.
Stevie
Wayne.
I'm going to figure out before we're done talking about this movie what the goddamn radio station is. But go ahead.
He's literally getting up to look at his collection, folks.
I'm looking for my phone.
But anyway, so that whole scene in the radio station creeps you out. It just rolls right along until it's basically the zombie infestation of the fog in the city, and pandemonium has broken loose.
Indeed. And they chase them all to the church.
And again, a soundtrack done by Carpenter. Done to perfection.
Yeah, and one of his best, and for some reason hardest to find.
Yeah, I can agree.
That and another one coming up. I own every Carpenter soundtrack but 2, because they're 2 are hard to find, but that one's about 4 movies down the road. Anyway, yeah, no, The Fog, I think it's perfect. I think it's just perfect. Throughout the years in horror, there are very few great ghost stories. There are some good ones. Most of them suck and are stupid. That is still my favorite. It's the best ghost story on film ever, in my opinion.
Well, the only one that was better with the same theme was the remake. It was so fantastically...
What? Stupid! Oh, thank you. I'm like, this podcast is over. Holy shit.
And
that was terrible.
To fucking hump his remakes into shitty submissions.
That's the worst of all his remakes.
Oh, the worst.
It was horrific. The whole thing at the end with them coming to each other. It's, what?
Retarded.
Oh my god.
The leprosy angle, come on.
It's stupid.
They were fucking pirates. They wanted their gold. Give them their gold or die.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Well, they were lepers in the original, but it was just...
they were lepers that wanted gold.
Yeah, that was all.
You know what cures leprosy?
Gold.
Gold!
Oh, leprosy. I'm not half the man I used to be. Anyway. Little Beatles reference and a timely joke. We need Goldie Hawn to pop out of a window.
Dingo and the baby.
Right. Here with Matt, playing the platters that matter. I think it's a perfect movie and one of the best, horror or not, edge of your seat final 20 minutes I've ever seen. It's outstanding.
Fantastic.
But we talked about the mood in Assault and definitely Halloween. The mood in The Fog, holy shit, is he creates from the opening credits.
And as simple as a pulsating light in that fog has you like...
Yeah. And when Adrienne Barbeau is attacked, it's a great scene because she's on the lighthouse overlooking the town and she's telling the people, she's on the radio. The fog is moving up this street. It's moving up that street. Don't go to this. Try to make your way to the church. And then the music's going, and she turns and looks, and the fog's coming up towards her. It's amazing. It's great filmmaking. It's tight. It's sharp. It's another 92 minutes or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just
Yeah,
goes.
It has its beginning
scary.
that tells you the story, builds you all the characters in a quick little 20 minutes, and then starts
and goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's rated R, and John Carpenter fought it because he tried to make a PG movie. And for all of you out there who have kids who you might want to show an easy-to-take horror movie for a child, I think The Fog. Because it should be a PG. It's rated R, but it's not R at all. There's no F words. Somebody might say shit a couple times.
It's scary.
Yeah, and it is scary. And mind you, I'm not talking about a 5-year-old here, but if you have a 10, 12-year-old, they're good.
Not a nipple a popping.
No.
God give it,
Damn
John.
it,
You could have just...
Carpenter.
Come on. I know she's your
there.
wife.
Yeah, right. That's exactly. You got your wife right there the whole time.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just a slip,
Damn it. I'm going to think of that before this podcast is over.
The name of that radio station.
I am. Because she keeps saying it over and over again.
Yeah.
Antonio Babe. Blah. I almost had it.
Antonio
Bay
Beauties.
Antonio Bay. I'm going to have to look it up, folks. But no, The Fog, another, for me, 5-star movie. And it did very well.
Yeah.
But, and this is strange, Carpenter, he says that that's one of his that he can't watch as much because there's so much he would have done different. I'm like, really? Because it's pretty perfect as is, sir.
Agreed.
But I wasn't in his mind when he made it, so maybe he had other things he wanted to do. I don't know.
It could have been shit yourself good.
One of the best endings of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Why didn't he come for me? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys can't understand what we mean, but see The Fog and you will.
Yeah.
So stop fucking around with The Fog.
Yeah.
And
to roll from there...
we are going to do one more and then end part 1.
Yeah.
But Matt will be back next week for part 2. Let me roll us into it because it's my personal favorite John Carpenter film.
Fine. And it's not mine.
Oh, it's
well,
not?
Actually.
What? This is your personal favorite? I didn't know that. We saw this together at AFI, remember that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
This...
I'm sorry. Go ahead, then.
It's
I didn't
so
know it was
hard
your...
because he has so many in my tops.
Right? No, I know.
Right?
I know. It's like picking your favorite blade of grass.
I would say yes.
Okay, well, go ahead. I don't care.
Oh, honey.
Like the what are the two guys?
Let's do it at the same time.
The two guys on In Living Color. Don't get mad. David Wayans.
3 snaps in a Z formation.
Little Spike Lee. All right, let's do it at the same time. It's 1, 2, 3. Escape from New York. Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say the thing.
That's next.
I jumped the gun.
And you jumped the gun.
Oh, premature.
But right, it happens to the best of us, buddy. I understand. I'll give you 10 minutes.
But again, I already prefaced this with that he made so many movies of my favorites. Yeah, Escape from New York.
Yeah, and may we just say, and you'll find this out as we go on, his filmography through the 80s up to the 90s is ridiculously good. It's ridiculously good. his lesser movies are still pretty damn good. Anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, so if we're going to roll into Escape from New York, the difference between that and The Thing is that it stars Kurt Russell.
Right. Wait a minute.
Wait.
They both star Kurt
Russell. Damn it. Yeah, so Escape from New York. So let's break from the horror that he has now done for his previous kind of...
Excuse me, I have to interrupt you. The Fog, Antonio Bay's radio station, WKAB.
WKAB.
Damn it! As soon as I saw it, I was like, shit! I knew that! Anyway, okay, Escape from New York.
Escape from New York! Okay, so Escape from New York. We fast forward into a scientific future.
Indeed.
Where all the prisoners have been put onto Manhattan Island, which you know, in today's current events can see that, right?
Right.
Because, you know...
They might as well go ahead.
Just section them off.
Dude, they turned Manhattan Island into a prison. What a genius thought.
Oh, fantastic.
That's genius. And at the time, groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Escape from New York, and then I'll let you go on. Escape from New York, his style was so groundbreaking that they had all those cheap wannabes, and every fucking post-apocalyptic movie from then on either looked like The Road Warrior or Escape from New York.
Right, one or the other.
Yeah.
Either the desolation of the great unknown or the desolation of the unlived-in city.
Right.
And he did that unlived-in city to the T.
Indeed.
And when Chef showed up, hello, children.
Right.
Come on, man. Just
Why,
so
children,
good.
I heard he was dead.
It's Salisbury steak day.
Isaac Hayes played the Duke of New York. A number one.
A number one. The Duke.
You are the Duke. Yeah. Yeah. Look at it. It's. I saw that movie so much. My dad took me and my uncle took me 5 million times at the theater. To where, are you serious? You want to see that again? And like, yes, I do.
It was awesome.
And then as I grew older, you know, sometimes you grow out of things. I started liking it more and more, and in my 20s more and more. And it's, to this day, still my favorite John Carpenter film. It is amazing.
And it just starts at a pulse that's immediately like a bullet shot out of a gun.
Oh, yeah.
And it ramps up from there.
Yeah, exactly. and Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken.
Awesome name.
Immediate, iconic.
I'm still surprised Arcade is not named Snake.
Snake Plissken, right, yeah. Well, I tried Snake, I tried Jack Burton, I tried Anakin, nothing was working. Wife wouldn't have it.
Jack Burton.
Right. You're not put here to get it. Oh, that's in a few more. But no,
you know what the great thing about doing a two-parter is?
What's that?
There's a piss break.
That's another plus, by the by.
By what?
No. The cast is ridiculous. You have Kurt Russell. Oh, that's what I was saying. Instantly iconic role from the moment he stepped on screen. Instant film history.
Oh, yeah.
Instant iconic role. Snake Plissken.
Oh, you know, even something that a movie master like Quentin Tarantino has to tip his hat to.
Oh, fucking A, yeah.
You
fucking
know?
A. Lee Van Cleef. Ernest Borgnine.
Lee Van Cleef. What's he ever
has he ever done?
Been in? You know, nothing with Clint Eastwood or, you know.
Yeah, probably a lot of ugly
Westerns
shit.
Well,
Right, yeah, right.
Come on.
Has he ever been to Italy, you think?
Like spaghetti, I heard.
He did. Lee Van Cleef did so many spaghetti westerns, the Italians were like, get the fuck out of here, would you? Anyway, you got Kurt Russell,
Barbeau,
Lee Van Cleef, Adrian Barbeau again for the last time because he fucked that up. No offense, John, but you fucked that up, buddy.
To have years and years of awesome sex with other women.
Yeah. Or that. Yeah. Or there's that. You fucked it up, John, and secretly, good job, buddy. Anyway, yeah, Kurt Russell, Lee Van Cleef, Adrian Barbeau, Ernest Borgnine, Isaac Hayes, Harry Dean Stanton. Come on.
Jesus. And speaking of the Borg, you know, if you're talking about Borgnine,
that's funny.
And talking about westerns, you
the
gotta
Wild Bunch,
just
baby.
Throw a Wild Bunch reference in there. Jesus, the end of that movie.
Number 9 on my 10 favorite films of all time, by the way.
When Holden comes out and just looks at him.
Let's go.
And, alright.
All four have been... Is there a more macho cast than William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Ben Johnson, and Warren Oates? Holy fucking shit.
Jesus Christ. And that ending scene never lets the pulse down.
No, it doesn't.
First time using blood squibs like that whole 4 guys versus an army. The goddamn scorpion versus the ants that he hinted at in the damn beginning of that movie.
You know what? We're going to do a Sam Peckinpah podcast, and you're going to be my guest. Thank you very much.
Peckinpah deserves his day, as so many others we've mentioned.
My 4th favorite director. I have lists. I don't know if you know that yet. I have lists.
I can believe it. Some people follow actors. They're the stupid people. I follow directors.
Indeed. So. And writers, yeah. Yep. Yeah, indeed.
And so, we're talking about...
Escape from New York. Right.
Escape from New York.
All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, shit, let's do Sam Peckinpah. All right, yeah. I wanted to do it, yeah. No, Escape from New York, it's kind of like Assault on Precinct 13. He gives you the setup, and then teases you a little, and then boom, it just goes. You know?
And you're like, holy
really
shit,
cool.
I'm writing the story of this badass.
Yeah.
And like stories of its ilk, like the Mad Maxes, he wasn't an impenetrable character.
No, he got the shit beat out of him, and shot in the leg with a crossbow.
He wasn't, fantastically jumping and doing 3 spin kicks to somebody while shooting 5 other people and then coming on one of them. It wasn't like that.
Indeed. Or what I like to call Saturday. Right.
Come shot Saturday.
Right. Oh, shit.
But, he fell in the realm of possibility. He was human. He just had a never say die, fuck you attitude. And he was just the perfect hero to ride for that story.
Yep. Again, iconic character. Again... this doesn't need to be said because with the exception of 2 movies, he always does his own scores, Carpenter. But another great Carpenter score. And it's kind of cool. The Duke's theme, like a blaxploitation theme. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic, man. And everybody gives it their all. The action's cool. The set's cool. He actually filmed in East St. Louis.
Yeah.
There's only very few shots in New York. But, yeah, a great movie, timeless for me. So far, starting with Assault on Precinct 13, I can watch all the movies we've spoken of so far, starting with Assault, not Dark Star.
Right.
I could watch them once a week for the rest of my life and never be bored. So far, yeah.
Well,
5 stars, by the by.
5 stars. I mean, you're talking about a movie that had a pulse and a grittiness to it.
Yeah, it did.
It was, if you took the Warriors and you shot them with steroids.
And threw a little death wish.
And then they came out to play. Yay! Okay. And you could see what influenced not the Mad Max characters, but their very next film, which we could go off on a tangent about the whole Mad Maxes, but Road Warriors, they took a whole page.
They did.
Out of these people.
And God bless George Miller.
Right.
He's a genius.
And he is.
As he still proves it to this day.
And signed on for more. I'm with it, George.
Keep the Mad Maxes coming, George.
Love them.
Even the 3rd one. A lot of people don't like it. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But come on.
It wasn't all bad.
We'll have a Mad Max podcast soon. Actually, we had one already, and
I can speak about him, but or that film.
We that was like our 5th or 6th podcast. We did a Mad Max spectacular.
But if it were the house, there would be, there would probably be Mad Max on the top floor. Well, if we were going highest to lowest. No, it would be Road Warrior to the new film to Mad Max. And they're very much in the cellar as the bastard redheaded stepchild.
I agree with your list, but I don't have it in the cellar. It's just like sleeping on the couch. Thunderdome. Yeah. It's on the couch. Yeah.
It's Stephen Wright on the couch.
Yeah, like you can stay here, but you can't have the bed. You know what I mean? You can have a couch.
It's the dude on the couch.
And I want you out by noon, and you can come back later. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The rest of them can stay and do what they want in the house.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I got you.
Right. But you know what? Carpenter is so phenomenal, and there's so much to talk about that Matt is going to come back next week and do part 2.
Happy to come back. Happy to come back, and happy for having me.
Indeed. So we'll wrap it up with. We'll be back with part 2 with guest 2, Matt Head.
See you then, folks.
Carpenter, biographer, lover extraordinaire, Matt Head.
Lover.
I love John Carpenter. I like his long hair. He looks really creepy now, by the way. Because he kept his long hair. It's receding and it's white, and he kept it long in the back.
Fuck it.
I love you, John.
You earned the right to do whatever, though.
Yeah.
Fuck
You're
you
John
want.
Carpenter. You're the fucking man. It's like the line in Blue Velvet, you know. And then he came in with the drugs, and he's the fucking man. So he got it done. Right.
The fucking man.
He's John Carpenter, the fucking man. End of part 1. Like a laser disc. End of side 1.
Turn disc over.
Right. So we'll be back with part 2 of our John Carpenter extravaganza.
Peace, bitches.
See ya.